One man is lost in the fog. His friend brings a torch in the night. They walk arm in arm through the dark, guided by one man's sight. One man's sight. Some cannot walk, some cannot see, some cannot speak, some cannot hear, some cannot learn, some cannot think, but all can love, and all can feel, and all can care, and all can change, and all can learn, and all can grow. We are equal in the same. We are equal in the same. We are equal in the same. Two men were working the land, two farmers making their trade. And while one was blind, he was still the mind behind the world's best lemonade, his lemonade. Some cannot walk, some cannot see, some cannot speak, some cannot hear, some cannot learn, some cannot think, but all can love, and all can feel, and all can care, and all can change, and all can learn, and all can grow. We are equal in the same. We are equal in the same. We are equal in the same.
The children in our country are being made to be the victim of a situation they are not involved, and then sent to a foster home where they again are reintroduced to trauma of being the odd ball. Our courts are contaminated and then sent to a foster home where they again are reintroduced to trauma of being the odd ball. Our courts are contaminated with young, inexperienced caseworkers and polluted with bribes, high-priced bonuses for speedy adoption of terminated parents, and judges who don't practice law with the Constitution in their sights. This is a problem. George Washington never thought of children as pawn in the game of freedom and American values, and never had he wanted to sell them. They were from his maker, his creator. Our children are being run down for no other reason than the profits being made in some way. Somehow these government agencies make money hand over fist day in and day out. They have you go to classes that they are billing for, and there is no viable reason for you to attend. Yet when you hear an update, CPS tells you that you're further away from when you started. Reunification is your goal, not theirs. And after you go through 12+ months of grueling, painstaking classes and meetings, all while getting the slimmest amount of time to visit your child, and even worst, you are always supervised. Never alone again with your child. It's awful. How do they feel, do you think?
Where's the outrage? Why is nobody standing up for these families being torn apart by CPS?
Please don't tell me you're going to put all your bets on this superhero. You grown-ups are supposed to be coming to his rescue. Stop ignoring this problem. There is nothing more I can say to any of you. Please fight CPS and help those who have lost so much they can help themselves.
Hey everyone, welcome to 1126. Happy New Year's, everyone. Doing okay. Still freezing up here in New England. Can't take it no more. I guess I want spring. Was it something like 84 days till spring? But anyways, we're gonna have a real crazy show. I want to get to the bottom of some things tonight. As you know, I told you guys last weekend that tonight's not gonna be so much about the ADA. It's gonna be about warning people about some fraudulent people that are in the system and taking advantage of it. And I think we're going to get into a little series over the next couple of weeks of our show, because there's one thing that I know we cannot stand is people that take advantage. And hello, John, welcome from Canada. Appreciate you being here tonight, like usual. But we're going to get into the subject of Francesca Amata and this Family Justice and Accountability Act. As a lot of you know, I flew her flag. In the springtime, I caught on to her and basically um, decided to go with her after multiple people told me to stay away from her. These are people in Connecticut that went through the system probably 12 years ago. And their claim was, and I couldn't prove it, their claim was basically, Henry, she stole my ADA paperwork, which basically was my paperwork because I was showing it to all my friends in Connecticut when I was going through the stuff 2008 through 2012, and said that she's used it for her little portfolio and tried pawning it off on people. But I mean, it's crazy. I had a great talk with Kathleen Arthur. She's going to meet our friend Billy from Toll and Roll, which even that relationship I tried to make with Francesca. Everyone I went to is either a heathen, a drunk, an alcoholic, or they don't fit my agenda. I mean, she even bashed Donald Ten. She wouldn't even let me go near him. Fathers for Justice. And I'm just kind of like upset of the whole situation on how she started bashing me, on the internet. I didn't draw first blood, Francesca. I'm going to tell you that right now. And the way you just did me, I'm going to end up making sure that we take care of you permanently in a legal situation. If she joins in tonight, which I'm waiting for her, and Darren, our friend Punisher, he's got some information he wants to dump, but he's having internet problems tonight himself. And thank God we got the capabilities of launching from different spots. I swear to God, it's the system trying to suppress our voice. But back to the numbnuts Francesca here, and I'm just disgusted by the whole thing, guys. I'll tell you the truth. I fell into a trap. She made promises. Oh, I got connections in DC. We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll file here. We'll get this going there. And I laid down on it. I paid her off because she was in a quick pressure point, which I guarantee you everyone will say the same thing. Oh, I'm getting full. You got to book quickly, because I heard it in every week's meeting as she sat there and solicited new work every single week that I was there. And I say she took 3 to 4 people a week. Dollar wise, I know at least a consultant. I don't know about the rest, but I'm leading to the fraud part of it. Long story short is I kept my mouth shut. I was seeing good. We heard the promises. Oh, I got Congress people, I got senators, I got this one in my pocket, I got that one in my pocket, but I can't tell you guys right now. And oh yeah, by the way, stay away from that person because that person's bad and they're trolling me. And God sent me on this mission. What the hell? I am so sick of hearing people saying God sent me on this mission. No, we're in this goddamn mission because we got a conscience to fight. Wake up every day and fight. And that's what we do as parents. And when you don't got skin in the game, I got to question why you're here. And my opinion was, oh, I'm going to get ADA certified advocates across this country. This is in the beginning days. This is back in, July and August. We're going to get people to do like alternative divorce through our company. And just, I can see fine. You want to do this? Great. You can have it. I'm only here to make change. And without change, I don't want to be there. I don't want to hear somebody's hot smoke of what we can or cannot do. I'm here to fight the cause and go for the cause. But it's really crazy. And what it was is I caught a video in I think it was August 7th of Kathleen announcing that she just got a phone call from Melania Trump's team. And what do I do as the good little soldier will say, hey, Francesca, do we know her? Is it okay if we reach out to her? Is it okay if we talk to her? Because whatever you do, you have to ask her permission to speak to somebody. But the facts were, my Connecticut chapter Facebook was built by my contacts, Melissa Owen's contacts, Natasha's contacts, Nikki's everyone's contacts, but Francesca. She brought no new people to my table in the state of Connecticut addressing my needs in my state. It was all of us using our contacts to get to legislators, call, waste our time with these phony, like pre-written scripts that you have to read. It was nuts. Who the hell does that? I mean, seriously, would you guys like this show if I was like reading from a little page of paper all day long? No, it comes from the heart when you're talking to these legislators, and you have to show them how this has negatively affected you in particular ways. But what pissed me off was she put down Kathleen. I don't like her. 2 months later, behind my back, she becomes best friends with Kathleen and then turns around and, has her show up at the 20th. Now, by that time, guys, if I wasn't into her for 3Gs and my mother passing away, my world falling apart, and I was not in a good state. I'll tell that to anyone right now. But you got to buckle down when the pressure's on, and you got to turn that hurt into fight. And I think I've done that pretty well and overcome some barriers that have been since October. She's just the new icing on the cake. For 22 years, my child has been discriminated against. For 22 years, I've questioned and documented. And again, I got so much, but she promises, I got an educational person on my team. I got this girl called Carice Johnson, which we're going to get into that one later. There ain't no Carice Johnson. And again, if there is, I'll eat $100 bill right here on freaking national TV. But we're 99.9% sure, just like we're not 87% sure, she stole all of Darren's intellectual property on a bill for CPS reform. Except for she didn't do reform, or we'd rather say disassemble, and then out of those ashes we rebuild what is supposed to be protecting the children and keeping families together. That was, again, the intent of 1938 Social Security funding, the whole Title IV DBC, whatever. This is how it all started. It was in 1938. Look it up yourselves if you guys want. But what I'm really telling the truth on here is just the amazing two-facedness of her. And again, before my blood pressure goes through the roof, I mean, we're going to have a little system here that we're going to go at her for the next little bit. And I'm going to let the public decide what kind of fraud she is, because I ain't telling you to get away from her. But if everybody I know since day one is no longer there, and if they're not there, she beneath them, she belittled them, she called them a troll, she called them this, that person's banned, if you're not working hard enough as a state leader, I'm going to find somebody that can. It went from, one state leader to 2 state leaders. I need 5 state leaders now. Why would you need 5 state leaders when you can't even get 5 people to call you because you won't give your cell phone number to anyone? It's so crazy. Then when you're talking to the woman, you don't know if it's the fake Carice or her. You don't know who you're talking to on the other end of this text messaging system that she only goes by. And again, it's so crazy on what I saw yesterday. And again, Kathleen's 12:25 show for the 24-hour marathon with Brian Lee, that really confirmed it all. It really confirmed how much she is a creep, that she goes around stealing everything. Hey, Nikki. This is Nikki. She was
Sorry,
Ohio. We should have Melissa somewhere in the background if she's still here. She was also team lead of Connecticut. And we should have Natasha coming in later. And again, guys, am I exaggerating? I mean, one thing, Nikki, I'm going to tell you right now, every meeting we were in, I saw you taking notes. I recorded some stuff, but we all did things. And what I'm really pissed about, Melissa, is I want to get to that story later where she told you to go record a congressperson for her. But whoever wants to introduce themselves, Tell me how much of a badass girls you guys are, because that's what we're about on this show. Kicking ass all the time. We don't con people. We're there for people. No, I can't go to your court and argue on your behalf because, again, if you can't do it, how's the judge going to let me do it? And that's what, like Francesca, she sent me a piece of paper, a one-page piece of paper, and on the bottom of it, hey, Nathan and Henry are not going to get psychology evaluations. This is to my appellate court, and she didn't even file an appearance. I go, Francesca, how am I supposed to file this if you're not going to file an appearance? It says your name. Oh, just file it anyways. Are you kidding me, you nut job? And then on the day of my appellate court, she posted a picture of me arguing. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing posting a picture of me and arguing in the appellate court? And again, it's not right because you're not supposed to take pictures of the appellate court. And Henry dropped the mic on him and punished for protecting help. How did you help? You gave me a brief that morning, which was another one page, and told me to file it. I said, Francesca, it's already too late. What are you going to do? Well, go to Connecticut AC Appellate Court. That's all you got to do. And every week, do we not hear how she can go in and argue? Law isn't for lawyers only. I've won on these matters. I can do anything. I'm Francesca Amata. I'm a forensic psychologist or whatever, forensic expert. In what? I haven't figured that one out yet. How do you get a forensic, an expert in psychology? You don't even have a doctorate degree. And again, it's so crazy how she even attacks parent alienation and narcissists. Oh my God, I love that. You're an ADA advocate, but here it is. You got narcissists, every other word coming out of your mouth. Well, my opinion is if you got somebody that's got a disease like narcissism or schizophrenia, don't they have the right to cure themselves? And then you're not supposed to hold it against them?
I mean,
it
really
doesn't.
So
Go, Melissa, run with it, because I've been babbling here for a while, and I can feel my veins are popping right now, because I'm sorry, guys. We're going to team up here in Connecticut and do something about this. There's so many avenues to do that. Again, not only did she burn Melissa for $5,000, she burnt me for $3,000, and whoever's coming in now, I guarantee you she burnt them. Oh, Alicia, you're in. Okay. Meet the girls, Alicia. This is my badass friends. But it's so crazy on everything. But go ahead, Rip. Whoever wants to go. I mean, Nikki is one of the most honest people I know. She's one of the most fairest. She believes in going in an objective matter, 50-50, give a little, take a little with the legislators. I just want to go in and actually pummel and just, again, make it to the Constitution. But I know it ain't reality. But if we can get a starting point, that's what we have to do in all these groups. Get together and say, what's our common ground? Because as the government watches, and I watch this in Connecticut, Melissa, so many groups implode. And that's the worst thing that we could ever do is sit here and bash. But our bashing tonight is about warning. If you're still with her, get away. Because if I haven't heard a congressperson's name or somebody willing to come out yet in 9 months, 8 months, whatever it's been since July. And again, why won't her own New York legislators support her? It makes no sense.
Nobody for that bill. There is not a single. And actually, I got sent a recording from someone else.
Wait. Tell everybody how much you were involved. And I'm going to say you were left hand and Krista was right hand. Does that make sense?
Yes and no. So,
or you were right hand and Krista was left hand. It's close enough. These are people that were on the hand of the alleged goddess Francesca Amata.
Kristen, she was basically exploiting. It's, because of her story, because of how far she had gotten of, starting to get some remedies and everything, and how much publicity she was creating herself by speaking out and getting the right contacts and everything. Francesca didn't help with any of that. Francesca just literally took that, put her name to it, stated she was doing it, and used that to go ahead and basically boost herself.
She's such a narcissist, dude.
Yes.
She goes after everyone's contacts and control of every situation. I mean, throughout the meeting, right, Nikki? Am I wrong on that?
I mean, as an observer, I you know how I am. I come in, I watch people,
Cool as
I
a cucumber,
take my
baby.
notes, I take my notes, and I observe, and then from my faith base and how I do things is I'll take it in prayer and I'll meditate on it, and if it doesn't seem right, it doesn't seem right. You know what I mean? You know me, I'm not one to bash anyone.
No,
Even my own ex-husband who is is putting me through the valley of the shadow of death. Um, I just feel that it's an unfortunate situation when people use opportunities to exploit families' pain and
got
children's
it.
pain. Um, it's very disheartening. For me, it actually hurts my soul because I'm watching these things and I'm seeing these legit parents coming from all over the place, just looking for some form of hope, some form of unity to where we can stand up and show the numbers and show the data and show that this is not an isolated incident, but a systemic issue that has caused a national safety issue. And to bring that together, you have to be organized, you have to be selective, you
Hmm.
have to be you have to just be wise in the way that you move because you're representing a whole bunch of people, and you have to understand that there's a bunch of different characters and personalities coming together, different backgrounds, different cultures, and but all with the same issue. They have had their rights violated to a
Right.
point to where people's lives are in danger, okay,
Absolutely.
if not lost. Their lives are lost, they're being pink slipped when they're not mentally ill because they're speaking truth. There's a lot of things that are going on, and a lot of silencing and of children. And me being somebody who completed the training that I got from as a casa,
Costa. She's a
my
Costa
heart
person.
was broken when I started seeing how people, a few bad apples spoiled a bunch, and that, and then, but it's so crazy because there's more bad than good in the world. So when you take that couple of bad apples, it just really just ruins the whole the whole harvest. um, so, with that said, yeah, my heart is broken. I went, I observed, I met a lot of good parents. I met a lot of people that had the right intentions, that have their heart in the right
Absolutely.
place. I seen a lot of sacrifice in gathering and meeting in
Unbelievable. Even
Washington.
you, even
I
you
Yeah,
sacrificed. You
yeah,
got
I
a
was
flat
stuck on the
tire on
side
the
of the
way
road for
there.
like
Had
four
to see
hours.
girls fights over a stupid condo, fraud of a
Oh,
condo. Again, the person who ended up funding the whole condo for everyone to stay in. It's
yes.
crazy.
No, and it broke my heart. But, I met like a really, really awesome, passionate, very passionate woman who's a mother who's going through it in Ohio. Her name is Kelly, and her partner's Rebby, and they're just awesome people. Everyone has the right, but not everybody's as like disciplined in not blowing up. So when they felt offended, or they
Say me.
basically
Go
were
ahead. Say
offended
me.
and they had the right to be offended, um they did what any real normal person would do, and put that person in their place immediately, like slammed it down, boom,
Right.
it's over, like I'm telling you where you can go right now, this is what it is, and
Mhm.
I commend that, I really do, because my approach is always going to be different. And that's, a lot of people don't understand me in that aspect. But
I get you, Nikki. That's all that matters.
I don't see, the way I am is that I observe, I know that not everybody came with me. You know what I mean? I just met everybody.
You got
So if
class,
I
bro.
don't,
You ain't stooping low. You ain't
if
doing
yeah,
nothing
if
low
I
to get to the goal.
Yeah, if I don't agree, I don't agree, and I keep it moving. I dust it off my shoes and keep it moving. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Um, I pray for everybody, even my enemies, as much as it's killed me to try to learn that. um,
Right.
God's been making me new, and yeah. So my heart is broken because a lot of people want me to jump on and be like boom boom boom, and I'm not going to bash people, I'm not going to disrespect people, but I am going to state the facts, and the facts are
She does, right?
Francesca spoke and her words did not match her actions.
Correct.
Absolutely. And every week it
I'm
morphed.
And the people around her did a lot of the footwork, but it came to a brick wall because the intentions was never really there to make moves. I don't know what the whole point of it is. It was a weird situation. I put a lot of input in for this bill because I thought, and she was like, I said, listen,
Here
I don't
too.
even want to be mentioned. Um, I just want to see it go through. If this is really what you're saying, I
What do I need
support
to do
any
to push the
parent.
cart?
Yeah, I support any parent that's willing to be a parent and that's willing to stand up for other parents who are silenced. And the children is the number one priority for me.
Absolutely.
Because
And
we
that's what I
all have
think.
flaws. We all fall short of the glory of God. I might not parent the way you parent. You might not parent. We might not agree on
Can't
that. But if we can agree that our children are safer with us versus the government interference where they're not vetting these foster parents and they ended up being traffickers or they end up being this, it's absurd, the government interference and the fact that the majority of these people are not vetted properly. So the
right.
chances of the child flourishing better in a dysfunctional family versus taking them out of the frying pan and into the fire where they put them in a foster home where they're being trafficked is it's like,
Abuse,
okay, wait,
traffic,
hold on.
mental felt
You
like
know
they're
what I mean?
insignificant. Could you even
Severed
get
from their
common?
biological family, which severs
Yes.
them from their identity. So now we
Entity, you
have
got it
we have
right there.
we have children being put in substantial risk for financial gain. And then, like, yeah, we could have dealt with a parent that has an alcoholic problem versus a
But should
trafficker
we?
who you never
But shouldn't
vetted.
we? Wait. Shouldn't we deal with that? Because, as my opinion, as this advocacy, I've watched so many people by the system become a drug addict, become an alcoholic, go into deep fucking depression, where if you don't pull yourself out of that hole, you're fucked, and they hold it against you. I mean,
It's a court
seriously,
it's court created damages. It's
Yes.
court created
it's
damages.
legal
It's
abuse
an actual like
syndrome by
doctrine that
Kathy
they
Hoffer.
there's a doctrine that's considered, and it's just it's absurd. And the reason that it's flourished so much is because one, the victims are silenced. Two, nobody knows their rights. Nobody knows the law. So people perish for lack of knowledge. And that's the most disheartening thing. Because even though I know a lot, I didn't know enough to completely shield from my son from the
Yep,
situation. And now we're all, so
A lot of times they won't even let you use your rights. I mean,
you can't.
my case has nothing to do with CPS. CPS has never found anything with me, even though my ex has made over a dozen, false claims and everything.
I can
But
hear you, Herbert. I can hear you. I can see you. Thank you guys for typing in the box. Keep going.
what
Sorry,
I
Melissa.
I have found is literally like me. I was born with an actual medical disorder of I have grand or most of my life I had grand mal seizures. I had them right up till my divorce. Everything else, because I lost my insurance and I couldn't afford my $1,200 for medication. And the pharmaceutical places were no longer giving it out. They only give you so many months for free and then they cut you off.
Right.
Doctor who actually suggested, because of the research with seizures, to get a medical marijuana card and sent me to another doctor because at that time it was just starting in Connecticut. And that doctor, after going through the evaluations and the testing and everything, stated, yes, you need a medical marijuana card. It's amazing for seizure patients. And all
Mhm.
of that, even though it was doctor prescribed, all of that was used against me in court because I had a medical marijuana card. Not ever did it come up in my system
Right.
for when they started drug testing me. Not once did it ever affect my children. Not once did my children ever see me use it, have a seizure, anything else. And it actually, after 30 years of having grand mal seizures where I almost lost my life multiple times, and from the time of as far as I can remember, a 3-year-old child on, praying every Christmas, every birthday, everything else for these seizures to go away because of
Mhm.
how it really affected my life.
Mhm.
I finally it actually stopped them. I'm now
Yep.
considered cured from seizures.
Yep.
And the
It's your
judge
cannabinoid system.
uses that against me. I'm a
Right.
drug addict.
Right.
But they pushed me and they've literally put it into every court order of, well, she has to go back to neurologist and she has to go get more drugs, pharmaceutical drugs. We don't agree with the medical marijuana, but we're going to make her go on pharmaceuticals. But then I go to the neurologist say, she's basically cured. She's not having seizures. We cannot give her medication for something that she's not having. And
Right.
the judge says, oh, see, she's just lying. She doesn't actually have seizures.
Well, again,
So,
Judge Sluger, just to let everybody know, Judge Sluger was your judge and he was my judge. He put me on trial for an $85,000 trial that my MD doctor through chelation is going to kill Nathan because Nathan came up with heavy mercury and heavy lead in his system as a little 2.5-year-old boy after getting double dose of MMR shot and the flu shot when I was denied custody of my child by the state of Connecticut. I'm a fit parent. Child was getting social benefits. They should have notified. Instead of they hid. The mother sent me a letter and hid for another 8 months from me or 6 months, whatever it was. But the government did not help get my child. 20 years later, look what's going on now. Vaccines, vaccines, vaccines. I was written about autism and I'm an anti-vaxxer. Fuck no. Go by the 89 vaccination schedule. And why don't you try giving your kid some organic vegetables? You know, because that's where it's at. But that mentality wasn't there. But again, little Schluger, Francesca should have known I already had that bitch in the appellate court multiple times on the ADA, which again, Connecticut still is denying, guys. I just filed my petition to the Supreme Court today. AC 48057. We'll find out. But you guys ought to see my articulation. I ain't being nice no more. And Francesca ain't got the balls. I got to do what I got to do for my child. And again,
even the attorneys, when I brought up, and one of my neurologists literally fought and said, this is protected under ADA. What they are using against you is literally your disability that you were born with. And they're putting you through every hoop, and they call me psychologically ill, and they state because due to years and years of seizures, yes, I have some issues. Like, I am not the most organized person in the world.
Who doesn't have issues?
That it's a type of like hyperactive style brain.
I think it's all our environmental toxins that I'm drinking out of a plastic cup right now or eating synthetic gum. You know what I mean? It's just our whole environment. Not that I'm any better. I smoke cigarettes. That's one habit. I do like my donuts. I do like my coffee. But I've given up the pizzas. I've given up the Pepsis. I've given up. I can't give up chips. But I can give up the Twinkies.
Just get the avocado ones. Those are much better for you.
But yeah, so I mean, guys, it's so bananas the shit that we've seen, and again, how we all collapsed. And I'm still waiting for Natasha to come on because again, that's another testimony here. It's again, we don't want people to go down this path. And again, unless she produces a congressperson next week that's willing to do her bill, because again, from what Kathleen has said twice now on 2 different shows, Grassley told her first day, fuck off, bitch. You ain't going nowhere. Your shit's unconstitutional. And it is. And I called her out in one of the shows that night. I says, Fran, we got to make sure this is constitutional. You know, you got us going to be debating over whether or not Johnny should be wearing a pink tutu. I don't want that shit. Unless it's harm, the government should not be in your freaking life. It is up to the 2 parents. And again, I'm telling you, talking with Kathleen today, we're even looking maybe at saying the financial aspect has to be looked at. The government has to stop making money on our kids. They're making money on bonds, education, you know, everything we do in life. These people are making money through trading bonds on the stock market. It should not be happening no more. And again, we got to take away the complete incentive. What do we got here?
And that's the only way. That's the only way to really stop it on a large scale. And I mean, Grassley's office is definitely going to pass a bill.
They're doing it.
All about this stone soup. We do have meetings with him at the.
How do people find that? Again, it's Stone Soup on just Facebook. Or are you guys on TikTok? I mean,
no, it's
on
a
little further than me.
No, it's on Facebook. It's Stone Soup is what the group is called, and there's a couple hundred people that have sent in information to Kathleen. And I mean, when I went in, and I mean, the last time I went down, because I was sniffing things on Fran for a while, like things weren't making sense. I'm not a stupid person like she tries to make it out to be.
Right.
Not force myself into. I was her client way before she started this. She up, I still have the messages and everything. She sent me about how she got this advisory non-paid job on Trump's team, and she's working with the administration and everything. And
What?
like, was all way before this whole FJAA thing even started.
She had
So
nothing, dude.
she sent me this whole letter and everything that she had that stated that she got this job on an advisory board with Trump. So, and then she sent me this Doge email that was, she's like, oh, well, they're looking for information, can you fill out these questions and everything for me? You've got such good information, everything, like, I want you to fill it out. So I'm like, okay. So I started talking to, what seemed like President Trump, from the background and everything. And, we were conversing back and forth for a little while, and we started talking about family court. And, it was one of these things of like, we're looking at it, because he wasn't even fully in office yet. He was coming in, but wasn't fully in.
Mm-hmm.
And she wound up, it's like literally about 3 months into his presidency. I had sent over some information that I had been requested on that, specific email that she had given me. And next thing I knew, it was someone trying to talk to me about getting into like one of these scam crypto things where you send them $1,000 and in 3 days they turn it into $20,000. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is this? And it's like, so I went to her and I showed her all the pictures and everything. And I'm like, this is what you've been giving me for Trump and Doge. And she's like, oh, no, that's definitely it. That's it. And I'm like, well, now they're trying to get me into this crypto thing. And I know it's a scam, what they're doing and everything. I'm like, because I know crypto.
Right.
And she's like, oh, well, it must have gotten, hacked or something. And I'm like, the government's own Doge pages are getting, okay. It's like,
Nah.
whatever. And at that point, FJAA had finally started. She told me she wanted me to take care of the Connecticut chapter. She teamed you and I up
Well,
originally.
no. She said the same story to me, and that's another thing I noticed, guys. Did you notice how she's able to work and manipulate people against manipulate to get that little "I'm gonna brown nose you, I'm Francesca's little pet," type bullshit? Where me, fuck you, I don't bounce to your
Well,
fucking drum. But hey, question: Herbert did ask if Stone Soup is nationwide. Yes.
Yes.
Find them on Facebook. And another thing great about it, guys, is she's totally open. Kathleen Arthur is totally open. If you guys look at a bell curve, it's what they use like a graph, and it goes up and it goes down. You got a suggestion to a bill, send it to her. I don't care. It's either by Facebook. We got an email. I'll wait for next weekend. Start typing it all up this week, and we'll do it. Who's here? Big D? Anyone? Danielle or Darren? Come on in, whoever. But guys, you guys got to get your bills ready.
Yeah.
I personally want to work with a few people, and Melissa's one of them. Nikki, my vote's on you too. Actually, everyone I invited to the show tonight, which was again Dorfima. She's in Greece, but she can't be here because it's like 3:00 in the morning her time. She wanted some sleep. But Natasha, and of course, my good friend Danielle here, guys, which I think Danielle's going to blow your mind on what I asked Danielle today at 4:00. Danielle, I need you to look into this Sandra Johnson and look out as much as you can find. I can hear you now, Danielle.
I've been backstage. Sorry.
All right, Danielle.
I was
time
hosting.
for you to spill your guts. Is Carice Johnson real or fake?
She is fake, and it is. I'm Francesca Amato. It is. She's affiliated, and Francesca Amato plays like she is her because there's posts on Facebook, and there is other things, and even when you block one of them, it blocks. They're both attached to each other, so. When she says that she's Clarice, it says author Francesca Amato.
Do you happen to have a copy of that one that says the author? So,
Yeah.
guys, what she's saying is the author created Carice Johnson.
Let me pull it up.
And if the author gets blocked, Carice Johnson gets blocked because that's the way Facebook works if you're linking them to the same account.
Yep.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
And my badass
And there's
Danielle,
other-
what else did you find?
Yep.
Hey, Danielle,
Oh, yeah.
did you ever find any waivers for Francesca Amata?
Any what? Say that again. Any
Fee
waivers or
waivers?
the 60-day jail sentence? Is that... Oh yeah, she filed 4 of them in
jail
some court.
sentence, whatever you want to
Fee
spill your
waivers.
guts on.
He did a 60-day
Because we're gonna have a little marathon all week. Because I know once Darren gets up and going, it's all done. Once Darren gets up and going, she's all done. Because he's been holding off on months. He's been wanting to keep her since August, and he respected me enough to leave her alone and let the bill go forward for the purpose of the children. That's it.
But
now she's done. She's pissed off a lot of people.
Like, I've seen so many posts. I've seen so many posts of her stalking him in a very aggressive way, and that's not cool. Out here in this fight together, we don't need. Nobody needs to be. And I don't know her from a hole in the wall, y'all. Like, I don't associate with her. I don't know her. But the stuff that I'm seeing, hey John, how are you? It's absolutely crazy for everybody to be out here and advocating for kids, making this name for herself. And I hope she is looking forward to answering to everybody what she's doing. You know, I mean, it's just crazy. Who's Natasha?
It's crazy. Do you happen to have that email? Though?
Natasha
not the
coming
email,
on now.
The Facebook posting. Natasha.
Yes, let me pull it up. Let me go. I'll get it. Let me get it because I'm on a different computer.
Hey,
I hope we can see it.
Hi, everybody.
If I'm slow, y'all, I'm so sorry. My computer is today.
It was okay.
What do you mean? Say okay? Don't say it that way to me. God damn it! You know
It
me.
was great seeing her.
Thank you. You know.
Definitely.
Hey, how much of the conversation did you hear?
Sorry, I'm late.
Okay, Becca.
I just got on. I heard Melissa talking and I got kicked off.
Melissa, why'd you kick her off by your voice?
I can't help it. I seem to just.
No, Danielle. Well, keep going. So I'm just going to tell Natasha what we're up to. Danielle found some really good shit about Carice Johnson, the AKA assistant to Francesca Amata. And what's funny is it links to the same Facebook account, and it says that when Francesca's banned, Carice is banned. So when Francesca can't post, that means Francesca's the creator. And guys, it's even sicker to say this, but hi Nate, where are you, bud? Okay, getting Jimmy's on. It's sicker to say this, but it's like, how did you even decide when you were talking to Carice or Francesca? Now that I know what I know, it's like my mind is so tripped that this woman plays mind games with people, you know, and again, thinking that you're talking to somebody else and you got another relationship different. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Who would do that shit?
And it's funny because one of the days that I was trying to go ahead and get her information for my court case, every time I talked with the so-called
wait, Melissa, there it is right there, guys. Black and white. When Francesca Amata is Carice. So again, she's the author of Carice.
Yep.
It's crazy. This is how stupid she is. In a way, I mean, hey, wait a minute. I know not to do wrong because I don't got the skills like Danielle and Darren and anyone else that's got IT skills. I don't care. I've given up on the point. You want to hack me, hack me. I got nothing in my computer. You know what I mean? Just that's how my mentality rolls. But for her, you would think she would know with the way she uses that iPhone, how easy it is to find out information on people.
Yeah, I have my notes here, and on July 6th, I signed that NDA for that to see the bill. And then she said new bill she's presenting to Congress. It says sign NDA. You'll be altering and editing together as a group. The team leaders have to have Zoom meetings and contact legislators in Congress. Yeah, I started taking notes, but yeah, she had everybody doing all the work and then she just put her name all over it.
Yeah, and then they're like every day complaining about how she needs to be paid for everything. We're
Right.
all
Oh,
Yeah, she had sent me a link one time. Because, I was like, oh, yeah, if you want me to look over your paperwork or whatever, here's my link, here's this, that, and other. So I went and I looked on the link, and right away it was like asking for like $2,800 or something like that, and this, that, and other. And I was like, I ain't giving you nothing. That's what I
Yep.
flat out told her. And she was just like, I said, I'm doing my own paperwork. I don't need you for that. You know what I mean? I want, like, if there's smart enough parents that can come together and just brainstorm and basically edify each other. Like, I might know a case law that might help your situation, and I can give you the case law, and you might know case law. So that's basically, we have to just bounce off of each other, as far as, like, because not everybody has access to case law. Some case law that can help parents is very hard
oh,
to even get.
it's
You have to,
private. It's actually
it's
non-published.
actually private. You'd
Those,
have to be like working for a
those
law firm as a paralegal or
exactly.
something, or a law student. Lucky for me, for a while I was taking a paralegal course, so I did have access for free
Hold
through
on,
my
Nikki.
through my school.
Hold on. Herbert, yes, she's a real person. Francesca Amata has multiple videos out there that you can see. It's underneath the Family Justice and Accountability Act 2025. Even on that name, why didn't she say proposed family justice accountability? Why didn't she use that simple word proposed? Instead, she conned everybody as this is a real bill. And to this day, Melissa, could you tell me if you confirm whether or not it's been vetted through we call it the legislative research here, but anytime you have a new bill in Connecticut, it's got to go through the legislative research to make sure it's constitutional. There's not going to be a fiscal cost. There's not going to do this. Do you know for sure if that bill's ever been handed to anyone to be vetted?
So it is, and I have evidence. I have receipts. It is sitting in Luna's office. Luna is the only congressional member who is kind of stating maybe they'll sign on, but it's been sitting in their legal for months now. They still have not gotten it through,
Mm-hmm.
and conversations and the recordings I have literally is one of the congressional offices explaining to Francesca that if it was actually going to get through legal and it was something that a congressional member was going to go ahead and say yes to, she would have had it through legal pretty quickly, and usually within 2 days you can actually have your numbers.
Weeks. So again, her con to everyone is so incredible. Oh, it's been legal. It's fantastic. I think she said one night it came out illegal. I'm not sure.
She went back and forth. 1 minute before we even went to DC, it's already been through legal process. It's already been taken care of. We had a couple parliamentary issues we had to change, but it's all set. Legal has already done it. Now this was before we went to DC. But then literally a week or two later on one of the Wednesday Zoom nights, it's still going through legal. We got to go ahead and do a couple things. And it's like, oh, okay. So, I figured, well, no big deal. There's a process that takes time. Obviously, anything with Congress or the government takes time. But then I noticed over the next month, it was flipping back and forth, back and forth. And if you remember correctly, while we were down there, when supposedly there was the whole thing of the White House was on lockdown, that's why none of the congressmen could come.
Okay.
She literally let all of us know while we were down there that, oh, Kathleen's taking the bill. That's why Kathleen got up and left. Kathleen's taking the bill. She's got meetings. Then that night, she was telling everyone about how it's going through an emergency 3-day vote. She's trying to go ahead and they're trying to get this passed as fast as possible. And then it was back to, oh, well, there's still steps we have to take. It still has to go through legal. And then it kept flip-flopping as she was trying to, instead of putting any light on what was happening with the bill, that's when she started Netflix. I'm being on this TV show. I'm going here. And it was all to take the light off because too many people were asking what was going on with the bill. Where was
And that's when she came out with her new orders. You can't talk to nobody. You got to sign this or else they'll remove that team leader. It was like a fucking Nazi. I swear to God. She should have a little mustache right here because that's the way she runs shit. And instead of it being a democracy where you're a group, you're coming together and say, let's go this way, let's go that way. No, it was You're
And
gonna
it was
sign this
always,
release.
you had to be on those Wednesday night Zooms or you were kicked out. And it's like, okay, well, everyone is here because they're trying to protect kids. They're trying to go ahead and help, stop the corruption and everything. But yet you're telling people if they miss a Wednesday for some reason, you're going to throw them out, especially team leads. And it's
Yep.
always because there's such big information. And then when you sit there for the 2, 3, 4 hours, the information was nothing. It was literally just, I'm being put on this Facebook thing. I'm going on this show. It was a lot of like smoke and mirrors is what I always felt like it was, because there was no, okay, here's the organization. Here's what we are doing next. Here's the next step in, our process. And even when we were down
Excuse me.
today in DC and we met at LULAC, it was one of these of like, everybody sign up who wants to come down and work on committees and everything. But she never had any information about these committees or when they were starting or what was going on.
Nothing.
So
Well, I have a
Because
story
she's not
about that LULAC building, because when I went to go to the LULAC building, that was before I was going to get on the highway. I'm like, I'm going to go back home, but let me stop at this LULAC thing and see what they're talking about. When I got to the LULAC building, I got inside. I asked, "Hey, there's a LULAC meeting or something like that," and the guy in the front seemed to know, like, "Oh yeah, go da 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 da." Da." And I'm like, "All right, seems kind of legit." So I go upstairs and the LULAC sign was taken off, right? So I look and I'm just like, the maintenance guy came by and I was like, I said, "We're looking for the LULAC is having a meeting." And he goes, "Why would LULAC have a meeting here? They left this building, a while ago. They moved their office."
Hi,
And
sweetie. How are you?
what do you
My
mean they
buddy.
moved
I'm
their
sorry.
so I said, "What do you mean they moved their office?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, the office ain't in this building no more. It's down the street or whatever, whatever." And I'm like,
Wait a minute. I gotta say something. Those Mario pajamas are cool. I'm sorry.
That's-
They're too cool. They
That's
are way too cool, dude. Hopefully you're gonna be like your pop and be an electrician.
we just came back from Florida and I picked him up at Universal, a Mario t-shirt, because he's always running around the house. It's me, Mario.
Oh, get
"That's
out.
cute."
Come on, too cute. Keep going, Nikki. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Nick.
So when I went to the building, anyway, long story short, LULAC ain't even in that building. So whoever those people were, that woman is or whatever, I don't even know.
Go,
So
go ahead. Sorry.
so we went into that office and it was I'm thinking it was just gonna be like, I said, "We have to start off where we left off. If you want testimonies recorded so you can show Congress, that's a professional environment. Why wouldn't you want it done there, like finished it? Why'd you
Mm-hmm.
have everybody running around like chickens with no heads in a very unprofessional way to record these things?" It just seemed, it was like a whole show. It was unfortunate. It was a waste of time, waste of money, waste of resources. And people were like actually devastated. Like there were people like in
People
tears.
left.
Like,
People were fighting. People were fighting. And what was the fight going on about the facility that somebody else donated money for, and Miss Queenie had to run it her way, or else you were out? Didn't somebody get in a fight there and they left, or
So there was an issue. There was one girl who wanted to try to get as many people there as she could. I think her name was Kelly. Um,
Kelly.
and she literally, I guess she had the resources. She offered to pay for plane tickets for people. She paid
Correct.
for
incredible.
Airbnbs for people. Like,
Correct.
she willingly helped out and was like, let's just get as many people there as we can, because she believed in what Francesca was saying
We
so
all
much.
did. We all did.
Yeah. And she literally put out $10,000 of her own money to help other people.
Oh,
And
that
that is absolutely
If not more, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, she did a lot for everybody. She even did for me because she knew that I was stuck on the side of the road for 4 hours. I had a flat tire. Like, she even helped me out when I got back home. You know what I
Wait a
mean?
minute. I
So
thought I saved you on that situation because you called me.
you kept
I
me
tried to
company.
explain you
Yeah,
how to change a
I was
tire.
ready to
And
lose it.
I'm
I
like,
was
hey, let
in
me find this.
tears.
All right, call this guy,
Yeah.
call that guy. But again,
Yeah.
God sent you somebody, and again, because what you were doing, the man said, "Don't worry about it." Right?
Correct. Correct. He hooked me up
It's
big
that way.
time. Like it
When
just
you're dealing
happens to
with
be.
children, most people say, "Do not worry, we got your back."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's what she unfortunately, I mean fortunately, but unfortunately after she spent all the money, she realized that none of this was true. It was kind of a scam right from the beginning. And I mean,
We got to
I
get
try
her.
to I try to give Francesca the doubt of I don't want to say she scammed all this from the beginning. I don't want to say that the bill and the movement of what she started wasn't having good intentions. Even though I know she's talking crap about me, I really do want to try to believe that she started this because she really does want to stop seeing kids hurt. But honestly, as I've sat back and I've looked at
But
this, and then I've gotten information of what she did in 2018 and everything else, it seems like she does this. She makes a
pattern
whole pile.
2012. I got her back to 2012, guys, in Connecticut, fucking our guys.
She literally during all this she makes a whole pile of money, which is what she's doing right now. You know, she's
Mhm.
bringing in $4,000 or $5,000, you know, a week, if not a day, right now with the amount of families that she's screwing over, promising them the world. She's a very good split tongue talker, as I call her. Um, but
Snake
it's
snake salesman oil. Was it snake sales oil? Say snake oil salesman.
yes. But I do want to try to believe that she does hear enough stories. She does see enough in what she does in the courts of just sitting there listening to everyone that she does see a pattern and she does see issues. I just don't think I have to say I will give it to her of she brought this movement out to that last little kick in the butt of enough people are now joining together, standing up, made a big enough presence in Congress where finally we have actual movement. And if Francesca had done it, we probably would all still be sitting here, you know, fighting to try to get our congressional members to listen. Because even
Right.
Kelly has stated the doors have never been open this much as before. And even like I have
I
to
don't
say,
think it's because of Francesca. I think it's
no,
because of the environment of what we have now as of president. We want
yeah,
to end corruption.
you
I'm
gotta,
gonna say it's what the enemy meant for bad, God turned for good. Because
yeah,
regardless of the fact, it doesn't take
We say
many.
that.
It
We
what
say
the
that.
enemy. Yeah. Well, that's what the Bible says.
No, restate it. Restate it. You went so quick
what
on it.
Oh, what the enemy means for bad, God can turn for good. So even though it might have been whatever intention she had, whether scheming, scamming, surviving, trying to get her money the way she gets it, the whole point is that really good parents did get together. Really good parents took it upon themselves to educate themselves. It put the fire in them. And it actually did create an avenue, like what you said. It made the
yes,
parents actually have these emails and these resources and be able to know where to send their complaints to or whatever. So, yes, I mean, in all, and that's where everybody gets all kind of upset with me because I'm like, okay, well, okay, yeah, she sucks because that really sucked what she did. Okay. But
Hey,
like, but
guys,
at the end
guys,
of
for the show audience, when Nikki says something sucks, man, that's like me saying fucking cocksucking son of a bitch bastard.
it really sucks that it went down the way it went down. But I'm very grateful because then I wouldn't have met the people that I met. I wouldn't have learned what I learned. I wouldn't have. So you got to take the good with the bad. You know what I mean? And that's just going to be what it's going to be. Because when we're
Get it?
protecting such a group of people, which is the children that are so innocent, we're going to have a humongous pushback from the evil that has actually been exploiting them. Like
yeah,
we're talking about cutting the snake's head. We're talking about cutting money of cartel. You know
yes,
what I
It
mean?
is.
Like
It
this
is
is
a cartel. It
serious,
is a
like
cartel
deeply
by
rooted.
definition today, and
Yes,
that's where we need to start going
it's
after these
very
people.
deeply
These
rooted. And when
entities
you
are
yeah,
cartels, from the bar association all the way down to your GALs, all the way down to your fucking
yeah, the worst
psychologists.
thing that ever happened to kids.
It's the worst. The shit's got to be taken apart
I mean, if
and
you
then
think about
rebuilt.
it, You take it me. I don't smoke. I don't do nothing. I'm the most boringest person. Like I'm pretty sure like they followed me before. And you know where I took them? I took them to work, I took them home, I took them to church, and I took them to the courthouse. That's my whole life story. If you really wanted to kill
Eh,
me, I'm so predictable and so like really like you know what I mean? Like for real.
listen,
So like it's the reality of it is that it's an ugly, ugly situation. It's so ugly that I've even had an older woman come up to me that never spoke to me before, was like, I'm surprised they haven't tried to kill you yet.
for fun,
You
me and
know what I
Nathan
mean?
go to the mountains on the motorcycle, and I'm telling you, I'm out in the woods. And when I run into 3 cops in a day, because I purposely go back roads, I look for roads, tops of mountains, like incredibly off the beaten path. I don't want to be on a highway. I don't want to be on a Route 5 type situation, Melissa. You're from Connecticut, just a double
Yep.
lane highway. And when you're starting to see these, and I just got finished Jack and Tong up at the LOB, you know shit's real. You know, I walk into the Capitol, freaking security guards start coming out of nowhere. Then they find out you're not a danger to nobody. You know what I mean? You're a parent trying to make change. And again, for the ones that want to do this, I'm 100% behind it. And I don't know about you guys, but even our previous team members and team friends, I'm not leaving them behind.
No.
I'm hoping that they're going to wake up and just say, you know what? Enough of this shit. We're off it. And Melissa and me, we got a Connecticut chapter now with Natasha. It's called the Connecticut Parents and Children's ADA Rights Group, unnamed, whatever. And it's cool. We just renamed it, and we're having a field day. At least I am, because now I feel free that I can share information with people. If you want to go down that path, that's your right to go down that path. I'm not going to stop you, because
Yep.
I've been saying it now for months. There is no wrong exit to get to the Capitol. We all got to work to get to the Capitol somehow, some way. And when we find the quickest path, we all got to jump on it. And I really think the whole RICO aspect as criminal cartels, these are cartel organizations. And I don't know if you guys heard Darren's show from a couple of weeks ago, where the gentleman from the Family Institute, Justice Institute, sat there and said and made a good correlation. If Google got sued for having a monopoly on the internet, right, and they had to break off and let other people come into it and give up some of their technology, why doesn't the bar have to do that? Why isn't there another association running parallel to the bar that would be more reasonable? Like, let's say you guys, because I trust you guys. In other words, if I had to have somebody defend me at a hearing and there was no attorney, it'd be you two I would go after, right? Because I just know you guys got faith in the law. But anyways, long story short, if you test, you pass, you can do it. I don't get it. You know, again, why isn't this done through consumer protections? Why isn't attorneys through consumer protections? And what my feeling is, Francesca took their MO and just snaked it into her freaking little system. And oh, you're talking to me. I'm going to bill you for 20 minutes.
Yep.
Wait a minute. I just typed you a letter that said hi. How did I just get billed for 20 minutes?
I made it very clear I wasn't paying a dollar, not a dime.
You
I'm
told me
here.
that. You
I
told me
said
that
I'm
from
here.
day
Yeah,
one.
I said you ain't getting nothing from me, dog. And I know I could do my own thing. Like I got me and God. We doing
Yeah.
really good right now. You know what I mean? Like at
Hey,
the end of the
listen, I did it
day,
for her alleged connections with the DOJ in DC, and she knew how to get me to DC, and she knew how to go. Her proposal to me was, and we'll take everything education, because I got education people that will fight for your son's needs on education. I got Carice, who's really great at everything, and then we got the family court stuff. So we'll just go in there, and I says, well, I got CMS. I also have false allegations of abuse and neglect from community members. So what do you do, Francesca? You're the narcissist expert. You know, what do you want from information out of my computer, man? How do I just give you a timeline over an 18-year abuse? What's going to be relevant? You really think I can afford to pay you to read every one of my documents? It just doesn't make sense.
Yep. Well, that's what I wound up. I had another mom reach out to me yesterday while I was down in Florida. And she was telling me how she went to Rosa DeLaura because that's who her, rep is. And
Yep.
Rosa DeLaura told her to her face she will never sign a single thing that's actually for best interest of children and goes against the current system. Now, you
Yes.
tell me that's not someone who doesn't belong out of office in this state.
Oh,
That is
it's ridiculous. And guys, we are the constitutional state, right? We're supposed to mirror the
oh, we
Constitution.
are.
We are so far from the Constitution, and the rest of the country always, oh, look at Connecticut. Look at Connecticut. We're so fucked, it ain't even funny.
Yeah.
And again, when I say our rights, everything from guns all the way down to what we can say, whether or not our kids got the right to be gay at 12 years old or 10 years old and get sex changes, they've gone against. And Melissa, tell them about the schools. Go ahead,
Oh
because
my
you're
God.
dealing with that now.
Oh yeah, no, so I'm not stopping just at family court. I'm also going to be getting into the homeschooling stuff because I have two kids that are in school now in public ed. That's my two oldest with my ex-husband that I'm in the court system with.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, like my oldest, he is a smart kid. He is in college AP courses in high school because he's such a
Mhm.
bright kid. But
Mhm.
like his girlfriend and his other friends in a tech school, which you have to literally get accepted into, you have to have certain test scores, certain type of behaviors. Like it's hard to get into the tech schools
Mhm.
these days. They're teaching the kids how to read clocks in sophomore year of high school because the kids don't know how to read clocks these days. They don't have, the majority of the kids only have a third grade learning ability. If
Hmm.
a lot of the kids are coming out with kindergarten still in high school.
Crazy.
And
It's
one of the
crazy.
worst things they ever did was put in that No Child Left Behind Act because all it has done is it pushes and pushes and pushes the kids through no matter
Yep.
what type of disability they have.
Yep.
And it's like my middle son,
Eh,
he is my disabled child. My ex-husband pushed me down the stairs when I was 6 months pregnant with him, trying to abort him.
Yep.
And he has disabilities from it. I had multiple doctors who stated that it's probably why he has the disabilities, but they can't prove it scientifically.
Right.
So
Hmm.
write me anything for court. And even if you do, like, I mean, I've had doctors write all kinds of things for court about the abuse and everything, and the judge just ignored it anyways. Um, but literally, my middle son, he has speech delays, he has cognitive delays. He's a smart kid underneath, but it takes a lot harder work because of what's been done to him. And I sit there and like, he has really weak hands and wrists, and I tell the school like, I don't want him typing on a computer all day. I want him learning how to write. I want him writing more on paper. And they
Makes
tell
sense.
me, well, that's not as easy for us to get through. So we're going to keep him talking to the computer. And I'm like, then what happens when he turns 18 and he goes out in the real world? Oh, that
Right.
doesn't matter. And
Right.
unfortunately,
But
because of the,
what Connecticut's trying to do is take away homeschooling. This is their
yes,
third year at it. I don't know if you ever got a hold of Deb Stevenson there and flushed out that route, because I know she was a badass attorney back in my day, standing up for parents' rights and homeschooling rights. I think she's the what was it, National Homeschooling Defense League or something like that. Or what was it? I forgot her website. Um, but yeah,
you
no.
sent
Who
it to
just
me.
popped in? Is that Natash? Now they're gone. We're having fun
Well,
tonight, right?
Ohio's trying to go
Hey,
hard on parents with that 174,
oh
SB
my God, we're
174.
posting it. We're posting it left and right in our Connecticut group, because I want Connecticut to see what's going to come down the pipeline. It's
It's
ridiculous
liter
how far
they're literally
they're setting the
that's what they
standard
use
for
to
government
rebuttal.
control.
Yes.
Correct.
And that's what they want.
Absolute
They don't
government control over your family.
yes. And that's the thing, like DCF, especially like in the really bad states like this state, they target homeschool families.
Hmm.
My youngest son, he is going to be homeschooled. He started getting his vaccines. He had really bad reactions to them. His heart was going off, everything else. His father and I decided, no, we're stopping. My other two are vaccinated, but we're not pushing him and him becoming one of the statistics. So he's going to be homeschooled. And quite honestly, I think it's going to be a lot better because it gives him more freedom as a child. He
Right.
doesn't have to learn. I mean, when my son was telling me that in fourth grade he was learning about abortions in school
Stupid.
and it's
Stupid.
being pushed on them about agenda stuff and everything. I mean, you want to be gay, you want to be trans, you want to do whatever, do you? That is fine. But school is supposed to be about reading, writing, learning how to do, things to be able to become an adult. And especially in this state, it is no longer about the educational value, it's about agendas. And
Yep.
that's where I've already been talking with Kathleen about bills and constitutional rights for homeschoolers, and her and I are also going to be working on protecting homeschool families across the country after we're done with the family court system and CPS.
Beautiful. Maybe we can tie
Awesome.
in Deb Stevens because she's the most expert on that subject. And again, it will help everyone across this country.
The
So
school
again,
definitely affected me. With definitely was a big part of the reason why I lost custody of my daughter originally. And they used my religious exemption form against vaccinations to say I was medically unfit for my kid. That was one of the reasons why they transferred custody. So I'm right there with you, girlfriend. We got to
Yep.
take down this court system first, and then they're next.
I
Well,
just
you know, what we need to understand is that we can write bills from here to forever. We can write all kinds of laws and change laws. Where we're missing the mark is we're not having an enforcement of the law. We
but
already
that's
have
all in
one.
the
Very
We already
true.
have
Yes.
laws. We already have
Mhm.
laws. We have the Constitution. You know what I
on
mean?
our
Like
side, the Bill
we
of
have
Rights,
the laws.
the
The problem
Federalist
is
Papers.
if we
And
keep
I thought it
making
was me.
bills.
At some point, I thought it was me because I didn't know the laws and I wasn't writing the laws and I wasn't stating the laws in my documents. And then Chat GPT and all these AIs came available, and I wrote all the laws in, all of them in my documents, and they still dismissed them unjurisdictionally and all of that. So what you're saying is absolutely true. We have the laws in Connecticut for coercive control and all those things, and they're not being
Enforced.
enforced at all.
Correct. So that's what
And
we need. We
again,
need an
because
enforcement
wait,
committee, and we need a task force for that.
the reason they're
Good
not being
idea.
enforced is because we're all pro se's. They believe, the system believes, if you want to come and fight, you're gonna pay. And I've had attorneys tell me straight up, the money's better in my pockets than their pockets. And I said, well, how would that be the best interest of the child? And he goes, it's the best interest of my children.
Yeah.
I know
Fucking
people that have paid
Whole issue.
$50,000 retainer.
Oh my God.
$50,000 retainer. And the people that are on their case are the same people on my case. And everybody on my case is off the case with me, pro se, where they're
Nikki
begging
fucked
these
them
people to
up.
get off the. I don't know what I did. I know I followed Jesus and God said, this is what you're
No,
going to
you
do.
did it
And
by
this is what it is.
affidavits of truth. And this is what people got to
Well,
start
I would have never
realizing.
known that if it wasn't that I actually went into. If you understand that there's certain things, the Bible speaks about the court system a lot, a
Really?
lot, a lot. Okay. And it just, as I was listening to Psalms and listening to Psalms, and it's talking about those things, and I just started going into prayer. I kid you not. I have been woken up in the middle of the night from my sleep, got on the computer, and I don't know how I gained access to a case law that I needed exactly for my filing. So this is Holy Spirit led. Everybody can have their faith or whatever, but this is what I
Right.
stand on. This is my beliefs. This is what showed me receipts. Okay.
Well,
And
I
my
got a
faith.
proposal for you. I got a
Mhm.
proposal. 1 hour a week. Why don't you do a show on religious beliefs in the Bible and how the evil the courts are and get around it? I'll give you space, baby. I'll give each one of you guys a show because I think you guys deserve it. Again, you guys are a powerhouse. And
I mean,
again, if we
I can read the
have
scriptures that have helped me that talk about the court system. I don't know what it would do for other people, but it'll reach people, I guess. My whole point is that when I did it because I know I was taking a paralegal course and it said that courts act as banks and children are collateral.
Yes.
They teach you
truth,
that.
That's how
it's
they
the
And
truth.
actually doing their funding and actually paying their bills and putting in all of these migrant
Bonds
city.
and insurities.
Yes.
so they said motions are to create billing hours. Billable hours is through the motions. And things like that. So you state your case in the motion, whatever, and that affidavits cannot be ignored.
Nor can
Affidavits you can
notices.
nor can they basically they can
A notice
ignore it if
unto
they
the
want,
court cannot be
but
ignored
the
either. It's like an
affidavit,
affidavit of
yeah,
truth.
An affidavit of truth that's notarized with the exhibits attached to it becomes the facts of the case.
In 30 days, and they have to refute it, and you have to put it on your paperwork in 30
They
days.
didn't
Not
they
refute
didn't
it. You'll be
contest any
stripped
of
of the
my
case.
stuff. They didn't contest anything that I've written since I went pro se.
Guys, I don't know if you heard me last week. Where's Natasha keep on going? I got to have a meeting here with her. That woman, she keeps bouncing in and out because I got a major question I want to ask you two. Nikki, you can have a vote too because you belong to our Connecticut chapter. But again, what was I going to say though? Oh shit! Now I lost the train of thought. Damn, somebody bail me out. I got to think of what was I? What was I
Listen,
just?
at the end of the day, I pray that every one of the parents that get a win, when a parent wins in any capacity, they're winning for everyone. Because if we can make president, if we can set presidents, if we can set, the stage where we're getting wins, actual wins with anything,
Mhm,
then
mhm.
we can stand together and support each other. I'm really disheartened about how it's so hard to get these families together. Like I don't understand why it's so hard to
People are
not
so
have.
hurt, Nikki.
I think it's a
Yeah,
lot.
listen,
People
you
are
can be
hurt.
hurt. What I'm saying is we need why is it that Voices for Children could get 250 volunteers then for free to be on a casa? There's
Right.
something that we're missing. There's something missing in the equation. I'm trying to figure it out. Because at the end of the day, if Voices for Children could get people to get on cases for free, volunteer their time, then we
Right.
need to actually have an organization to where we're getting at least 10 to 15 people per county that are willing and able, retired, not working, disabled, whatever the case may be, to show up for every parent's hearing. Why is it
Well,
so hard?
what about having just the fact every state have a constitutional grand jury committee? It's
I
not
mean, that's
hard.
fine and that's fine
Our
and dandy. I'm talking about
constitution says we
no,
can
it
do that.
as simple as showing up for each other and having
Yeah, but
witnesses. I have witnessed to where people will not violate a parent's rights if there's one or two or more people watching.
Yeah, they never
right,
had.
On people don't break into a house that has mad people, you know what I mean? Like, and the
right,
lights
right,
are
right,
on, and
right,
you know what I mean? Like, if everything happens in the dark. So if we
right.
don't allow it to happen in the dark anymore, then
I
it will
totally
it
agree.
will make people pump their brakes and think twice because we
I like
do
that.
have laws.
Yep. But
But
the laws are not being enforced in any shape, form, or
But they have to be enforced if people are saying, "Hey, I just witnessed
I
blah
understand.
blah blah."
Problem is, like, I'll give you a perfect example. Is like Theodora was explaining how even in her, she put in a RICO case against the judge, GALs, like everyone.
everything
And Tong went right in and said, I'm in charge of
destroyed
all
her.
of them. And all of them have judicial immunity. Even if you prove they took payoffs, even if you prove they have fraud,
It
it
was
does
on.
not
Yep.
matter. They have full immunity to do whatever they want. And that
And
is what the issue is. And this is right now where I feel we have the best possibility for Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court in like 1973, I think it was, can fact me, check me on that, basically stated that, judges and attorneys and GALs have judicial immunity for everything. Even if they're committing fraud, they have immunity. And that's what they're running on. And what we
yep.
need to do is we need to get this administration right now in the next couple of months to go before that Supreme Court and say, do judges
Bullshit.
have
Yep.
immunity when they are committing fraud, going against our Constitution, or are our laws supposed to be upheld? And
Right.
that
And
is where I
on May 24th of 2024, the Mississippi Supreme Court justice stated that there's no basis in law when it comes to immunity.
but
There's no
Crazy.
basis in law when it comes to immunity, and he allowed the lawsuit to go through.
And what kills me the most
And
about the
they
ADA is
mhm.
when you say it abridges the state's immunity, Rooker-Feldman doctrine is gone, it's all stripped. But yet, listen to our own Watley case, Watley versus Keller on the second court, and how the second court picked 3, 4, 5 different avenues to try to throw the lawyer off, which was the ACLU of Connecticut, throw him off his game, which he was already off his game. He should have just straight up Your Honor, this is about administrative compliancy. If you're non-compliant, you're discriminating against all. How stupid can you be, Your Honor? And again, if he took, because I would have taken that approach, I would have probably gone to jail, but it would have been on the record as the truth. And this is the problem. When we go into court, they got us in such fear of the system that we're afraid to tell what's on our mind. We're like little puppies, just like Francesca had us all lined up. Oh, yes, Francesca, I'll do whatever you want, and again, fuck that shit.
Wait,
It's not gonna happen.
I gotta know what she do. I gotta hear what she said again, though, Henry. Nikki, is that your name? I'm sorry, miss. I
Yes.
never was introduced really to
Nikki,
you.
Yes.
Natasha,
Hi.
Nikki.
Hi. What were you just saying? What state? What case law is that? People need to write that down.
Hold on. It was Mississippi. In Mississippi, I think it was May 24th. It was in May of 2024. You can Google it and say what case was it. I think it was the name was Thomas versus Green or something like that. It was a detective or something, I guess, incarcerated someone, and it was unlawful. The person lied, and the person was innocent, and they ended up coming out and they sued, and the Mississippi justice stated that there's no basis in law when it comes to qualified immunity
No basis
in
in
law.
law.
So he allowed the lawsuit to go through. He also called it the original name, and it was the Ku Klux Klan Act of something. I can
Oh,
hear. So he went in. He went in. He went hard on that one, and I was very surprised on it. And that was just me,
I gotta read
reading.
that.
It's a very good case, actually. When I read it, it was a really good case.
And I know Kathleen and I have had this exact discussion because that's what I've even said to her. The laws that are on the books are good laws. Nobody is putting in accountability. And that's where I started going with her about different levels of accountability. And like she said, the problem is it's just like, say, our FDA. Our FDA is not about keeping us healthy. It's not about going ahead and keeping the chemicals and everything out of our food. It's literally a payoff for, all the big corporations.
Right.
And we start with like these boards and everything. In the beginning, yes, it'll work. But as time goes on, that corruption creeps in. This person gets paid off by that person. That one's best friends with this. And we're back in the same situation. What we actually need to do is we need to tie the fraud to we the people. If you go in, judge says you have mental instabilities, you can't have your kids, and they go ahead and they take your kids from you, you need to be able to walk out of the civil courthouse, walk down to the criminal courthouse as the person, file your charges with the criminal courthouse, and take that judge to criminal court. And that
It's
is
already discrimination per the ADA. They can't do it, but they're doing it every day.
That would work.
Yeah.
Target more
That would
people
work.
for
That's
their
what we need.
disabilities.
Accountability for them.
And that's
And guys, our friend Lulu from Proud Parents of Connecticut chapter, she goes across the country and she represents people with IQs that are probably around 75, 80. And that's the most disgusting part that I'm seeing in this country right now is how these state actors and state players just belittle these people, similar and the same as Francesca does to people. It's a pattern that I cannot stand. And again, I'm sorry. It's so nuts. But guys, I want to ask you something as a Connecticut chapter. I've been mulling this over. We didn't put it out to the group the other day, but can we just call it like equal and the same parenting, children rights, ADA rights? I mean, that
Henry,
I want to go
right now,
across the
Henry,
country.
we're like backed up on the group right now. We still have to write the letter to say that we left the group. We just been posting.
Well, you know me, I left that on you.
Left.
Well, Melissa was
I
on
tried to
goddamn
fix up-
vacation.
I
well,
tried to fix
I
up
got kicked
the
out of admin
title.
longer
but-
now on it.
Well, you got kicked out at 1:30 in the morning. I didn't know. We didn't kick you out for 3 days. I said, Natasha, Francesca
you
was
back
ranting and
in,
raving
though,
about
Melissa.
people not trusting. So I think she was like implying it towards me. I said, Natasha, can you take her down for me? The next day she's back up, and I'm like, all right, fuck it, because she was pushing me a week ahead. The same night you opened, basically, to say you're a bullshit liar. Blumenthal didn't support us. Fucking
Danielle
douchebag.
did
What's
too.
that? New York. Who was the guy you met from New York? um Chuck
Oh,
Schumer. When you met with Chuck Schumer, they didn't care about her. So now you got Grassley and Chuck Schumer saying "fuck off, woman," and she really thinks she's going to go somewhere. It's not going to
Now,
happen, guys.
I will say this though, until we actually hear from Grassley himself say it, like we have to, you know what I mean? Like I would love to hear
Actually,
from the horse's
actually, you're quite
mouth.
wrong. Ready?
that's good.
Kathleen
It's
Arthur has
it's
now
in
mentioned in
writing.
2 different shows that
Yeah,
Francesca
it's
had the
in
balls
writing.
to stand up in Grassley's office and tell him that they were pretty much fucked up for not supporting her bill, and
No,
it was
it's in
No,
all
writing
along.
from Grassley's office. I
I'm not
saw it.
discrediting that, but when we're talking about that, like because I haven't
He was
seen it,
in the meeting
I'm
when
a person I
Francesca
have
did it.
to
Chuck Schumer, I have them. Chuck Schumer and Grassley both said it in writing.
in writing. Oh,
Yeah.
amazing. Is there a way to
hmm
like have that where we can see that?
Yeah.
And I
Where did I see it? I gotta
with
find it. I gotta. You got a friend request me, and I'll make sure I'll get it to you.
Listen, I
Okay.
think you guys are a good marriage because you guys are really kind of like the same to me. You got, and that's a good thing because you guys are both very religious and very into it, and you want to keep the peace. Me, and Melissa, let's
I
go
mean,
fight.
it's not
I
about
want to go
keeping the
fight.
peace. It's not about keeping the peace. It's knowing not to bring a knife to you know, to a gunfight and things like that. There's a time and a place for everything. I'm a big geek when it comes to X-Men, and I love Mystique because she knows that when it's time to
Ooh, she's
do the
sexy.
damn thing, she goes with Magneto, and she knows when it's time to like support, edify, and mentor, she'll go with Xavier.
Yep,
There's a time and a place for everything. Even the Bible says that.
so if you're
yep.
a fan,
But no, guys, does that sound like good idea? I mean, because I want all groups, and I ain't being prejudiced. I take the parent alienation because I think parent alienation, when we all sit there and we talk about it, it's a word that's all happening to us,
It's a
and I
phrase.
don't
Yeah.
know
Okay,
how to
listen,
best describe it.
that pinches a nerve for me.
Me
Why
too.
it pinches a nerve for me is because that term is the same as using the N word to me because there's blood on that. There's a lot of children that died because of it. There's a lot of the intention of it was exactly to target and shun mothers and to discredit sexual abuse of children and place the children in the home of sexual abuse. So
yeah,
I
Yeah.
will not use that term. I'm not a mother versus dad because at this point it's come to such a bad systemic issue that it's a traffickers versus we the people. Okay,
yep.
so like you
But
have to be very very careful because I
I,
refuse to
I,
keep
I
using
just
that
know
term
2
and
people
keeping
from
it
Connecticut,
alive. I'm not
and
going to
none of
keep
them are
that
about
term alive.
pedophilia. None
Why
of them
am I
are
not
about pedophilia.
Listen,
So
I'm not going
when
to
you
keep that
wrong,
term
when you're not.
alive because when my son came forward and things came forward and came out, the first thing my ex-husband's attorney did was put parental alienation. How do you have parental alienation when you pick your son up from school and drop him off at school
Yep.
See,
So
every
they
week?
could parental alienation on me because my son, from the way my ex husband is and the abuser he is, my son would be perfectly fine in school. Everything else, the school was actually tracking it. And on days he had to go to his father's, he would hide in school. He would wet his pants. He would have meltdowns.
He's
Everything
having a
else.
trauma response. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
And
yeah, that
he,
So
happened to my
I,
daughter too.
I
is that when you use that term, it's not resonating with real people
No, no,
outside
no.
of the
I get
system.
it. I,
Okay,
I,
so
I
oh,
you
mean,
oh,
need
I
to
get
use
what you're
real,
saying,
yeah, you
but
need
at
to
the
use
same time, I am like, what is there needs to be
see,
a new phrase for it then,
yeah,
exactly.
because
That's what
that
I'm coming.
does
What's what
happen.
I'm getting at. So what you do is you use the actual terms that link it to the actual definition of trauma responses and things like that. So you say when a person is using coercive control, they are
there you
using
go.
isolation. They are using separation. They are using severance. They when you isolate.
Retaliation.
You know when you're isolating
Yeah, that's what's
isolation
happening. All of that's happening to my daughter
isolation
right now.
hits more, yeah, because what happens was with my child, they took him away from every safe person that has
Yep,
ever mandated reported what he
yep,
has said.
yep,
They took him completely away from every safe person, which is isolation.
yep.
yeah.
Guys, hold
and
on one
and,
second.
and
Guys, Danielle, she comes in at 9:30, so we got to be out of here by like 9:15. So we're just gonna
okay.
wrap it up in the next 15 minutes. Get Danielle.
So it
Last I knew, Sam starts at 9:30.
okay. So it
Um,
basically, when they isolate the witness, you're tampering with the witness. That's intimidation of the witness, and then you're silencing the victim, which is against the Violence Against Women's Act and Keeping Children Safe from Family Violence Act. There's a big thing. So the UN actually did a whole entire thing on it. It's a whole targeting of the children and silencing them after abuse has
yes,
been
yes.
disclosed. So I do not like that term. It's cringeworthy for me. It hits a nerve for me because as soon as my ex-husband's attorney used that term, it was automatic key terms to them, like we can milk this. He got unreported money. We can push the envelope, blah blah blah, and it switches the dynamic of custody, and it almost guarantees that the abuser is going to get the custody.
Right.
And that
Okay.
happens. The
So I don't want to use that term. I'm sorry. I'm going to be very straightforward. And if people keep
Right.
using that term and
It
keeping
just
it
I
alive, then
lost two good
I have to
friends
take
that I've
myself away.
known for the last 18 years because of Francesca and her attacks. And she was not a doc. She's not a none of us are clinical doctors to say parent alienation syndrome is a fault, but we know how
No,
they're
but it is.
using it,
No, listen, but
how
doctors
they're
have
using
said
it
they
in the
will not
past
accept it.
history. I mean,
It's
my
the
God,
only diagnosis that an attorney used to rebuttal sexual abuse or abuse allegations
okay.
against the person coming forward. It's an automatic
And
And
again,
rebuttal.
then the people that,
so-
if you want to say, are being the people that are
They're
truly
pink
being
slip.
alienated, and it's not a lie, can't prove it. It's like
Correct.
almost impossible to prove because it's emotional and
it's
psychological
emotion, right?
abuse a lot of the time.
Correct. So
And
I
a
mean,
lot.
we
that's
need to
what my
find a better
issue's
way to
been the
do it.
whole
my,
time.
my little cousins from California told me they went
Yes,
to an
we
all
do.
Catholic school, and they're like, Henry, you know, the Crusaders used to run around rape and pillage, and they were homosexuals, and all. And I'm like, what the fuck are
Hmm.
they teaching in San Francisco about our religious, Catholic rights? And the father goes, it's true. And I'm like, are you shitting me?
My mother got
Again,
kicked out
people
of
don't know
two
what.
Catholic schools when she was younger. She was in private school. My grandfather had some bread. He came from Spain. He was a World War II veteran, and he worked in a bank. He had my mom in two Catholic private schools, and both times she got expelled because there was a lesbian nun that touched her inappropriately, and everybody else was afraid to speak. My mother beat her ass.
Right, right,
Hmm.
right, right. So, but it's
It
crazy,
happens.
guys, and it's just we gotta have open talks like this more, and we got to bring in more groups because I'm willing to listen, just like I listen with the politics. I'll go to CNN, I'll go to Fox, I'll go to Newsmax, and then I'll go to the internet for the fucking truth. You know what I mean, and then I weigh it all together and make my decisions. So anyone
Everybody
that
who
was
has skin
listening,
in the game has something to offer. Everybody's being
absolutely.
violated, and we all need to just agree to disagree on certain things, but stay focused on the main goal. And the main goal is to not allow the government to continue to violate our rights and use our children as casualties of war.
Anything the
Mhm.
government touches,
And
they
like
just fuck
I
up.
I want to
Like
like
the last thing they
start
should.
talking about. I'm sorry, Melissa. Go ahead.
Sorry, it just
Go
in
ahead,
my
Melissa. I'm sorry.
anything that the government actually touches in any shape, form, or way for any length of time, they just literally fuck it up. It's just the way it works. You look at
Right.
everything in our country, and as time goes on, they have just screwed it up one way or another. The
We're on
last,
the family policy since 75 right now, or 76, right? And
yeah,
it took this long for it to get to the point where more and more people are seeing how corrupt. Everybody knows you're going to go to divorce court, man, you're going to get your clock clean. You're
and
going
I
to
mean
go to some,
the
you're going to
last
get
But like the time,
is the
the clock needs to have a end time. Like this can't keep on going on where we're trying to get bills passed and the bills are being passed and it's not being enforced. So if it's gonna continue to not be enforced, we need to figure out another agenda. But if it's not gonna work, like because it has to work because we have to save the kids. So we I give it like 6 months before we try making a new game plan. And really, because there's a lot of parents speaking out right now, and like I feel like now is the time
with what
if change is
and
gonna
again,
happen.
I'm going to say, guys, we're going to have to start wrapping it up. And I want to give you guys all a minute, 2 minutes each, or 3 minutes to be closing, how people can get a hold of you guys if they want to network with you guys. again, I believe we're going to change the group to equal and the same parenting. Done.
Okay.
Does that
Equal and the
sound
same parenting.
with,
That makes
with,
sense.
with kids and again ADA? Because I really want to
Henry,
be
we
the
can't
group.
change a name for 26 more days.
Damn
But as
you,
soon as
your
we can
rules,
change
woman.
it, we'll do it.
Damn you. So for now, you want to tell them how they can find us and join up?
It's right now it's called the unknown
Name.
group, group for parents, children, and ADA of Connecticut. Right now, and we're gonna rename it. It was originally the FJA of Connecticut, and so, oh, you
And
know
as
what I'm
far as
saying.
I'm concerned, anyone that's affiliated with Francesca in the past, please, you got my blessing to join in. We're not going to hold nothing against you. We all fell into the same trap, and again, we're all here for purpose. So, again, Nikki, take it away. Go ahead, start your little spiel. How do people get a hold of you in Ohio?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm unfortunately, because the Guardian ad litem infiltrated my Facebook page and had mothers, she threatened mothers to give up personal DMs and things like that. I had to like not accept any friends requests on my
Okay,
Facebook.
well,
I kind
people
of
can get you through our site. People can get
yeah,
it through
basically we can
our
go.
website.
I'm on your group, so if they contact you, then they can contact me there through the chat or whatever.
Because
Um,
again, our
it's
feeling is we want to network across the country. We want to help Kathleen. If you got
correct.
great ideas for bills, put them into her. We'll
I'm
have the
gonna make it
email.
very, very clear. I'm gonna support anybody that's willing to do this for the children, to protect the children, but
Right.
as far as like giving our ideas over to somebody, you know what I mean? No, I think we need
Well,
to be
she's putting in
very
your proposed bills in regards to, again, a bell curve, and she's going to eliminate the two ends. What's the main focus? What's the biggest problems in the court systems? So, again,
funding, incentives.
Mhm.
that's,
Being
I say it's
incentivized is the biggest
accountability.
problem.
I think
No,
it's,
Well,
listen,
that's what she's
again,
going after,
well,
after the
accountability
funding for the ghost kids.
and the funding. My theory on this, real quick before we go, is that we have a guardianship funding, and then we have a third party interest kinship, whatever funding that they just got, to help with paying the families, right,
right.
when they take in a child. Now the problem I'm having with that is that it seems to be that they have a funding for something and then they create the problem,
Mhm.
to create the clients. That's backwards. Funding is supposed to be for solutions. So my theory is, when I watched it, I said that the bloodline of people's lives, like the legacies, are being attacked on both ends. The court is attacking the senior citizens through guardianship and
Yep.
and taking all of their money away, so there's no
I'm living
inheritance
that
to
hell
leave to
now.
the family. Okay, and then on the other end, you have the kinship, where they're taking these children's parents, things that the kids can inherit. So right now I have an investment property, you know what I mean, like I'm a
Hmm.
landlord.
Hmm.
If I die today, my little one is an inheritor of that. Now
Right.
if they take that away from me through the family court, then my son has no legacy, nothing to. So they're attacking bloodlines from both ends, leaving them nothing, which will
Hmm.
set up a traumatized generation that will grow up, and they will end up trading their freedom for a false sense of security.
I mean, I would say kids are going through the system right now. This is why a lot of kids are not wanting to have kids because, again, 30, 40 years old, they're waiting to the later tales of their life now. That's just going to kill our population. But
Yep.
we really got to get going. Melissa,
Hmm.
give me some words of wisdom from you, girl.
So I'm a little bit deeper in this with Kathleen right now. I will be back in DC in multiple Congress's offices at the end of January.
Awesome.
I have a commitment from Grassley's office for a multiple bills. The first one I am actually hitting is wrongful removals and separations of children and safe parents. Because if we can at least stop the pandemic of children being taken, that at least gives us some time to work on other things. We are 100% working on accountability and removing the immunity and making abilities and pathways for criminal charges against all of these GALs, attorneys, judges, everything.
Immunity's got to go.
That's more coming with the Stone Soup bill. But when we finally get to the last parts of that Stone Soup, and we're close, it's not going to take long to pass it. Grassley's
Nope.
office, they have multiple, I mean, probably about 40, 50 congressional members who are just waiting for the solutions. And this will be going through. And I can guarantee you, I mean, obviously, I'm not a fortune teller, but 2026 is going to be an amazing year for the parents who have been wronged by the system.
Redemption.
Listen,
and will you be
I
able
will
to
tell
hold
you by
accountable?
midweek, I'll be announcing stuff in our Facebook group, because I'm telling you, Toll and Roll and Kathleen have some serious heavy meetings this week, guys. Keep your
Amen.
fingers crossed. This is
Oh
the
my
fourth
God, I'm
time
so
meeting with Doge,
excited.
third time meeting with
This is so
Judiciary.
exciting.
And if you guys never heard it, it's called the Problem Solving Caucus. So again, these people, there's 50 fucking people in this department, and that's all they do is solve problems for Congress. How about that shit?
So what
Again,
state are you
guys.
in, Melissa?
I'm in Connecticut.
Okay, you are in Connecticut too.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I'm in
Because
Connecticut too. Where are you?
I'm in Ohio, and they're trying to give them complete discretion.
Yeah,
So they
Right.
can't even appeal.
That's why we got to get you,
Not
keeping up with us on our end. And then we, again, can translate. And I got to get her next week on the show. So everyone probably is going to get an invite to next week again. And let's hear what Kathleen can say. But I'm telling you, everyone, go home, sharpen up your pencils and get to it. We got Sam, which is another beautiful show, Healing with Sam, after this one. So guys, I appreciate you coming in tonight and helping me vent, because my biggest problem is I'm pretty good at finding out fraud, and yet I was taken for a ride by Francesca, and so weren't all of you guys. So I don't feel so bad if we're in the same
I
boat.
wanted to witness a good thing happening. If it happened, it happened. I'm rooting for whoever's going to get the win, and any parent that's trying. But it was an unfortunate thing to see that. Yes, it was true. There's all
Right.
talk and no action.
Yep.
Guys, let's work together. Join our group in Connecticut, everyone, because we don't discriminate. We don't hate. We'll listen. Let's have an open debate, and let's get to it. Danielle, take us out of here with a badass song. Nice. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
God bless you guys. Yes.
Oh, God bless you.
Thank you. Meeting you.
Nice meeting you. God bless you.
They're great girls, aren't they? Guys, I'm telling you, I can surround myself with some great talent, but Danielle's got the talent now. Find us a damn good song, girl. Get some motivation on this Saturday night. Ready for Sam. Hey, Darren, can you get a hold of me tonight? Darren's having internet problems, just to let you know.
The children in our country are being made to be the victim of a situation they...
Oh, you guys started it, but you took it off. Funny, 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 Danielle. You can come.
The children in our country are being made to be the victim of a situation they are not involved, and then sent to a foster home where they again are reintroduced to trauma of being the odd ball. Our courts are contaminated with young, inexperienced caseworkers and polluted with bribes, high-priced bonuses for speedy adoption of terminated parents.